Well, hello there.
And here we are again.
Here we are again.
Another podcast of Behind the Scenes
with Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Yes, and welcome back, everyone. So, we have a fun one to talk about today.
Yes.
And it's very timely because all the things that we are doing now kind of tie in with this pretty
Yes,
well.
yes, it does.
But
Yes, it
I
does.
got to give you a background on
Yeah.
this because this is something that I'll tell you. For those who cannot remember back far enough, just a short 10 years ago, we really didn't have the social media and we didn't have the YouTube Live and the Facebook Live and of course Zoom.
We didn't have phones that you could
the smartphones that we
FaceTime
had.
or do any of that. No, you had none of that.
And if you did, you didn't know how to use it. And I was proof positive of a lot of families that I could tell you did not know how to use it. But anyway, the reason why we're talking about this is we're talking about virtual Santa visits.
Yes.
And I actually started this, oh my gosh.
Well, it was
10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
Oh, Lordy. And this is when Skype was all the rage at the time.
If people knew how to use Skype.
If anybody knew how to use it.
Yeah, because not everybody knew how to do that either.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to a lot of people that were, really into technology, and they didn't know how to use Skype.
No.
Because it was amazing. We had to teach even married son had to learn from us on how to use Skype.
Yes, because we wanted to visit with our family in California. So yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so 10 years ago, 2014, I started with a company called Hello Santa.
Yes.
And before you run and look them up on the internet, I will tell you they are no longer.
No.
And haven't been for a long time.
No, they did it that one season.
However, that really got me into virtual visits. Although it's a funny story, boy, I'll tell you. They recruited me, and I actually did an audition. In fact, you can even find the audition on our videos.
Yes.
But anyway, so that's going back 10 years if you want to see how much I've changed. But anyway, we did the audition, and they said, "Oh, yep, we'd like you to join our Hello Santa family, and we're gonna send you lighting, and we're gonna send you a backdrop, and we're gonna, just give you all kinds of instruction and equipment and
now let me just. He did. He got so excited. But let me just interject. We talked a little bit about one of our videos that we actually used to do photography in the schools.
Yes.
So our photographer had obviously not only his camera, but he had the big lights, and we also had a really beautiful hand painted canvas backdrop.
Yes.
So when they said they
were going to send me all this stuff, I thought,
and
I don't have to borrow Randy's lights, and I don't have to do this, and I don't have to do that.
He was especially excited about the lighting.
I'm telling you.
On and on getting the lighting.
I'm getting lighting, professional lighting.
A package arrived.
Yes.
And it was a little smaller.
It was about.
It was a little, because it had the backdrop. So it was a little bigger.
Oh, the package was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The backdrop. So he got, was it a 5x8?
It was a little bit bigger. I think 8x6. No, it wasn't that big because it didn't fill up the whole wall.
I think it was
5 by 8. Yeah, I think you're right.
was
plastic.
Yeah,
flimsy little plastic. I mean, and
yeah,
it was just kind of like a picture.
and little flimsy poles to
Oh
hold
yeah,
it,
yeah.
to hold it. And then he opened up. You're right. Then he opened up this really small package. He said, "I wonder what this is."
A little light.
You could
A
attach.
clip-on light.
Yes, you
It
attach
was
to
a
your
clip-on light that you clipped it onto
to your
your
computer.
monitor,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, because you did everything with a laptop that year.
yes.
So
Uh-huh.
so that was his light.
And they didn't send a camera, but thankfully there was a camera in the laptop.
Yes,
So I
that's
was
true.
able to use that. But yeah, so that was my big package from Hello Santa.
Yeah.
And that background, I beg to differ with you. They did not send poles on that. We had to mount it to the wall.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
that.
because I
Okay.
remember they said, you got to adjust it. It's a little crooked. So,
Oh, okay.
so I had to take it down
Yeah.
and put it back up again on the wall. But anyway, so
Well, and you should also say, this was the Hello Santa was, if not the very first, one of the first
one of the very first
companies
yeah.
that offered virtual visits.
Yes,
So
they
you
were
were really
just getting into this.
Yeah, you were really on the cutting edge.
Yes,
of this,
absolutely,
and the cutting edge of the technology, such as it was.
And boy, I'll tell you, they just they were really booking a lot of people for this,
Mm-hmm.
and they hired. I felt so exclusive till I found out they hired about 300 Santas to do this.
Yeah.
However, we had a gentleman, and I gotta laugh and Clinton Finelli, if you're out there, I still love you, and you bring smiles to our faces every time we mention your name,
Yes,
because
always,
it's like,
always.
oh my God, what poor Clinton had to do to keep these Santas in line and to get good Santas to do virtual visits, and the stories he would tell us about these Santas.
No, but remember, he would come out and he would have a video for the Santas and of how to fix things or do things or something. And we were rolling on the floor. I mean it was almost like it was a comedy show.
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately,
he was serious.
He was serious that,
and had to be, because apparently these guys couldn't figure out how to put their hand before their face.
No, they with the costuming.
Oh,
some of them
God.
apparently had some costumes, some didn't. Some had to wear or were not wearing fake beards, and he said, if you don't have facial hair, you've got to wear. And then
this isn't real. You gotta get something that looks it.
On one video, he showed how to put on
the
beard, and the hat.
And apparently people weren't getting this.
Yeah, I mean, and it was so funny. And of course, he was doing this, I think, every week.
Yes.
We were.
Because we were getting down there.
Yeah,
so.
and we were looking. We were sitting there. Is it time yet for the next video?
Couldn't wait.
Because it was
Couldn't wait.
so.
And in
so
the meantime, I was getting calls and visits from him going, you can't believe, I can't get them to do, what is it that we need to do to get them to do things? But anyway, enough about the Santas. Then we had the people.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, again, as we said in the beginning of this thing, nobody knew how to work their phones. Nobody knew how to work their personal computers.
And I don't think
pads were not a big thing at that point in time.
I don't think it was even on phones. I think you either had to have a laptop.
No, we had phones. We had
did
phones.
you have phones?
Yeah, because they showed us how we had to do things
okay.
sometimes. But people would walk around and, I mean, I had visits where they set up the computer and they had it reversed. So I'm looking at the centerpiece on their dining room table
Yeah.
and nobody else in it because they were on the other side going, I can see you. Why can't you see us? And it's like, because you have your camera backwards, you know. And then I, this was so, I mean, I had one father, and this is why I know it was on phones, and he's running around with his phone trying to film his daughter, and we're going upstairs and through rooms and because she kept running away.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's like, I can't see her, and he goes, well, I'm trying to get her. Hold on a minute. I almost got sick to my stomach watching this thing go flying through the house. We had people that, I mean, you know, their phones were way up there, and I couldn't see anybody. Then, and you know,
Or you had you saw but had no sound.
oh yeah,
You know?
then nobody could figure out how to turn the audio on
Yeah.
on either their computer or their phone, but especially on their computer. So yeah, it was quite, and yet I still had. Are you ready for this? 868 virtual visits.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He became. There was really just a handful at the end that was the go-to Santas and then
And then, of
we
course,
should really-
anybody, if there was any kind of a celebrity or somebody of
yeah, I was just
importance,
gonna say you had a
like
special visit.
yes, I had the vice president of news for ABC, and I had Teller of Penn and Teller,
Yeah, yeah.
and did his, and some other celebrities that I can't remember right now off the top of my head.
yeah.
But we did a lot. There were three of us, and we got. Not only did we get all the more important visits, but we got all the redos. We had a lot of redos where the Santa had goofed up something fierce, or the parents, you know, complained that, you know, they just couldn't get it to work, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so can we do it again? So I had probably almost as many redos as I had virtual visits some days. So you know, but that was, so that got me into virtual visits,
Yes, yes.
and then that just kind of started the ball rolling. And even though Hello Santa went away, I then got involved with a company called Jingle Ring.
But that was much later, actually.
Yeah, actually, that was several years later.
There was a not a lot of companies continued that. I think it was partly because it was, I think, a lot more work than they thought between getting the Santas and getting the software to work and people trying to use their
and
computers
the parents and
all of that. I mean, so we really didn't do anything until until 2020.
Oh yeah.
And then we actually started to do our own personal virtual visits because,
Yes.
of course, we
The technology had come along.
and we, along with everybody else, you know,
upgraded,
was staying inside.
But yeah, we were all locked in.
Yeah,
then,
so we weren't going
so
anywhere.
everybody needed a virtual visit
Yes,
then.
yes.
So
And then I think it was 2021. Then when
Jingle Ring.
we got Jingle Ring, I think.
Yeah, and I did them for a year, but even though I did Jingle Ring, we still did a few of our own.
We still had some, yes.
Because we had
We had a
what
following.
had happened is we had a lot of people that had visited us personally
Yes,
when we were out doing some personal visits, and
exactly.
they
Yeah,
would
yeah.
seek us
Uh-huh.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And during 2020, you couldn't do that.
No,
So,
no.
So that's when we began the personal
Right.
virtual
So we could
visits.
keep up the visits
Yeah.
with a kind of a core group that
Yep.
we had for a number of years following us, and we had that. And then the other thing is that didn't happen with Hello Santa. but with Jingle Ring and our own, then we both started to do the virtual visits.
Yes,
if
because we
somebody
had
wanted
Santa and
both.
Mrs. Claus.
Yeah,
Yes.
both of us.
Yes.
Which
Which
was
a
the
lot of people do. They
Yeah.
love Mary, and I can't blame them. I do.
Well,
So.
and most of the time, especially with our core followers, we had gone in homes and things like that, so they knew, both of us and wanted to see both of us. So, so yeah, it was. But so that's kind of how it started. We were, or he was really definitely on the cutting edge,
and then of course things developed, and we started doing Zoom, and and then Zoom made a huge difference. We still use Zoom today, and in fact, and this is why I said this is really timely.
Yeah.
We've been asked, gee, do I always have to wait till Christmas to visit with you? And the answer today is no. In fact, if you go on our website,
yes,
thenorthpolepress.com, you will find virtual visits.
Yes.
And you can log in, and you can just pick a day, give us some information. If you have a special event you want this for, if you want to do this for a friend or a coworker or anybody.
Yeah.
And just get a visit from either myself,
yes,
or
again,
Mrs. Claus and me.
We can do both.
Yeah.
And this was our special announcement, which is the last podcast. You will have heard that, and that's what we were going to announce.
So
it's
we're up and
now.
running and waiting anxiously by the phone for your call. So
and it really is any time, birthday.
Anniversary.
If your child has done particularly well in a sports event or school or something, and you just want to let him or her talk to Santa, then this is another good way to do it.
I just thought so. Even if they're like going to a camp or something, if they have a phone that they're taking with them, I could even visit them at camp and just say, "Yep, your folks are missing you," and
Yeah, that's true.
But I understand you're doing well.
Yeah.
So, any reason you can think of, and like I said, it could be for coworkers or
anything,
anybody's
really.
birthday.
Yeah.
So I can have fun with this, and they will too. So by all means, do take advantage of that.
And we'll leave links on
this
visit here podcast to our website, so you'll have that. So
yeah. But anyway, and I'll tell you, virtual Santa visits are nice because you don't have to get dressed up and drag your kids to the mall. You don't have to worry about if they're in their pajamas, or if it's early in the morning or late in the evening.
Well, the other thing that didn't happen with Hello Santa, but did happen with Jingle Ring, is you also had calls from all over the world.
That is true.
Which never would have happened, certainly with us. Never would have happened if it had not been on a virtual call basis. And we know we have viewers.
International viewers on this.
From all over the world.
Yes.
So this is your opportunity.
We have multiple countries that view us. So by all means, we would love to chat with you as well. But that is a good point. I mean, I'll tell you, that was such a kick to be able to talk to people all over Europe and Asia and Australia and and I just enjoyed that.
We really did.
And I'd love to do it again. So, but anyway, so that's kind of our virtual Santa story and how that all came about. And of course now, as I was going to say, is we got obviously much more sophisticated equipment. We have much more sophisticated programming and that type of thing, which makes it easy. And the neat thing about this is everybody gets a recording.
Yes, that's the other thing. Yes, because we do it on Zoom. Everybody gets a recording of the visit. So,
and the other thing I'm going to bring up is you can also invite other relatives,
family members.
I can handle
Yeah.
several
Yes,
people.
we do that at Christmas.
Within reason.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
yeah,
want,
yeah.
50 people.
No,
Then we'll
no,
just
but
do a
we-
live visit,
Yeah.
and that'll be it. But
Yeah.
but if you want to involve your parents or
Grandparents, aunts and
aunts,
uncles,
or
something like
cousins
that,
or
you know,
whatever,
yeah. So check it out.
yeah.
And yeah, we hope that you enjoyed this edition of our behind the scenes podcast. It's and again,
I just happen to think I could do
What?
this for teachers too.
yes,
Teachers, if you want me to address, or Mrs. Claus and I to address your class, we could even do that.
yes, we could. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because your phones are sophisticated enough
Yeah.
now.
True enough. True
But
enough.
anyway, boy, I get excited thinking.
I know.
I
There's
just think of
kinds
all
of
these different
possibilities.
possibilities.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our story, and we're sticking with it.
That's
and,
right. That's
And
right.
by gosh, I hope you take advantage of this. But and I'll tell you, we're going to come up with still another experience of what we've faced. And we were looking at our list today. We still got a lot of things to talk
Oh yeah,
about.
we got a lot of things to share in
So-
the future. So you need to-
make sure you
yeah.
come back on the 10th.
the 10th and the 24th,
Yep.
and yeah, and join us. And thank you again to all our listeners and your wonderful,
All the
wonderful comments.
Fabulous
It just
subscribers. And,
touches
yeah,
our heart. So
yeah.
thank you again for joining us.
So, well, until next time, stay tuned and stay with us. And God bless everybody.
God bless. We'll see you later.
Catch you on the next one.